One of the most iconic players is back in the game. You heard that correct. Nationally renowned and legendary player Cam Newton is back, and we'd be lying if we didn't say that we're losing our minds. Continue watching to find out everything you need to know about Cam Newton's return to NFL, as well as best punters and kickers ranked in NFL history, including Jack Fox breaking NFL records. So stay tuned. Cam Newton's return to Carolina wasn't just significant, it was magnificent. This legendary quarterback didn't just revive the Panthers, he revolutionized them with his iconic comeback. For everything Cam Newton has lost over the past few years, his charisma and appeal remains unscathed. In a matter of a single game, the Panthers went from an uninteresting and dead-in-the-water organization, which doesn't stimulate any enthusiasm, to a team that dominated the best of the NFC as well as continues to encourage anticipation and the support of numerous fans. That's the effect of the enigmatic Cam Newton. On the 14th of November of this year, Newton started his comeback attempt with a familiar touchdown run-in, which he accomplished while looking both professional and powerful. He then took off his helmet and yelled as loud as he could, "I'm back." This moment became a meme on Twitter and as well as other social media platforms, with fans enjoying Newton's on-field celebration. Newton was drafted by the Panthers during the 2011 NFL Draft and went on to spend 9 years with the team before he was released in 2020. After a season ruined by injury, injuries had a major effect on his career. He had to recover from major shoulder and foot ailments, as well as other noteworthy injuries, such as an ankle ligament tear, a rib fracture, and lower back fractures from a car crash. Panthers announced on November 11 that Newton had been re-signed after he was cut by the Patriots following one season in New England. Daniel Carlson of Raiders. Carlson was formerly drafted by the Vikings in 2018, and they've undeniably come to regret the decision of letting him go. This kicker for the Raiders has been in the NFL for 3 seasons, and he's gotten better with each year, including the last season, when he drilled 94.3% of his field goals, ranking him 6th in the NFL. Not only was he precise, but he also exhibited his range, as he was one of just 4 kickers in the NFL who have attempted 4 or more field goals from beyond 50 yards and successfully made all of them. In 2020, Carlson scored 144 points, which was tied for the most in the NFL. The Raiders took a liking to Carlson to such an extent that they gave the restricted free agent a second-round tender, which is considerably a high tender for a kicker. If you're not aware what this means, the tender means a team would have had to give the Raiders a second-round pick to steal Carlson away this season. Thanks to his tender, Carlson's expected to roughly make $3.38 million in 2021. Young-Ho Koo of Falcons. In 2019, after only playing 8 games with the Falcons, Young-Ho Koo returned a year later and found his reputation as the team's long-term kicker and definitely made a name for himself. Not only did Young-Ho make more field goals than any other kicker in 2020, but he also finished with the 6th highest accuracy rate. Koo was deadly from long range, hitting 8 of 8 from 50 yards or more, making him the only kicker in the NFL who attempted 5 or more kicks from 50 yards or longer while hitting 100% of them. Koo finished the year with 144 points scored, which was tied with Daniel Carlson and Jason Sanders for the most in the NFL. Will Lutz of Saints. Will Lutz has a long track record of success in the NFL, although he was struggling a little bit last year, which is the reason why he made the top 10 even though he ranked just 21st in the overall accuracy last season. When looking at his career, Lutz has been consistent with his respectable performance. In both 2018 and 2019, Lutz ranked in the top 7 in accuracy, including 2019, when he hit 88.9% of his field goals, which ranked 7th overall. He has a notable number of successes under his belt that only a few other kickers can match. At one point in 2018, he hit 26 straight field goals, which set a Saints franchise record. Though Lutz had a not-so-great year in 2020, he did prove that he can still hit clutch kicks, and one of his biggest came in Week 8 when he hit a game winner against the Bears. Lutz also hit 98.3% of his extra points in 2020, which was the 3rd most accurate in the NFL. Jason Sanders of the Dolphins. After struggling a bit during the 2019 season where he hit just 76.7% of his field goals, Jason Sanders bounced back in 2020 and finished the year as one of the NFL's best kickers. For one, he was one of only 2 kickers to hit 100% of his extra points last season. The 4th-year kicker also finished the season with a 92.3% conversion conversion rate on field goals, which is the best mark in Dolphins history. Sanders also hit 8 field goals of 50 or more yards, which were tied for the most in the NFL. The Dolphins like Sanders so much that they re-signed him a 5-year, $22 million extension this offseason, which made him the highest paid kicker in the NFL. Mason Crosby of Packers. Mason Crosby's performance was only gotten better with age. The 36-year-old kicker went a perfect 16 of 16 on field goals, making him one of just 5 kickers in NFL history to hit 100% of their field goals in a season where they attempted 15 or more kicks. At one point during the season, Crosby hit a 57-yarder, which was the 10th longest field goal that any kicker made all year. Thanks to his perfect performance in 2020, Crosby now hit 90% or more of his field goals in 2 straight seasons. Michael Dickson of Seahawks. Dickson has somehow only gotten better since being a rookie in 2018. Dickson seems to have perfected the art of pinning a punt inside the 20-yard line because he did it 32 times last season, which was the most in the NFL. Over the past 3 years, no punter has placed more balls inside the 10-yard line than Dickson, who has done it 41 times since 2018. Over the course of the season, he averaged 49.6 yards per punt, which ranked 2nd in the NFL and 10th all-time in NFL history. He also averaged 44.4 net yards per punt, which ranked 3rd in the league. The Australian is also a great actor, which comes in handy on fake punts. Tress Way of Washington. Way has slowly turned into one of the best punters in the league since entering the NFL in 2014. Tress Way ended up punting the ball 73 times in 2020, which was the most of any punter in the league. During the 2020 season, Way averaged a booming 48 yards per punt, which ranked 5th in the NFL, and this came just 1 year after a 2019 season where he finished with the 10th highest single-season average in NFL history, 49.6. Way also averaged 44.3 net yards per punt, which ranked 4th in the NFL. Way also made things easy on his punt coverage team as 25 of his punts went for a fair catch, which was the 3rd highest total in the NFL. Jack Fox breaks NFL record. The Detroit Lions might not have enough successes under its belt over the last 2 seasons, but Jack Fox's performance of his punting work is one of its greatest achievements. Fox, with his growing fame, has quickly been recognized to be one of the NFL's greatest punters, and now he has statistically proved to back up his reputation. What Fox has done for Detroit since the beginning of the 2020 season has been spectacular, and comparatively, no punter has ever been better over the first 100 attempts than him. Fox broke records for both gross yards per punt as well as net yards per punt over the first 100 punts in a career. When he hurled his 100th career punt in the 13-10 loss to the Cleveland Browns, Fox had more or less averaged 49 gross yards and 43.9 net yards, and each of them is the best in NFL history through 100 punts. However, besides his remarkable achievement, Fox is nowhere near to reaching the record for the fewest games to rack up 100 punts. Andy Lee launched his 100th punt in only his 17th career game. Fox has played 26, which doesn't even land within the top 20 for the quickest 100 attempts. His Lions forerunner, Sam Martin, hit the 100 punt mark back in 2014 in his 23rd game. And there you have it, everything you need to know about Cam Newton's return, as well as other NFL best kickers and punters ranked, including Jack Fox's NFL-breaking record. What do you think about Cam Newton's return? Who do you think will win this season? Be sure to let us know your thoughts down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks for watching.